So if you're starting to build out your services and you're interested in taking the approach of a tiered pricing strategy, let me give you a couple of pros and cons with that strategy. Some of the cons about a tiered pricing strategy, initially it's kind of hard to set up, right? It might take some time to deliver a project using this pricing model that allows you to see if it's right. One of the pros with a tiered pricing strategy is you get economies of scale. So think of this as an example. And again, this applies to whether you're talking about professional services or managed services. As an example, we're, rolling out PCs, right? So the first 10 PCs is going to take an hour of time each. When we start getting to, 10 to 50, it's going to take 30 minutes, right? And so there are going to be these tiers of time. And the reason is, you get faster as you do more of these, right? And so I can provision a bunch of desktops all at one time. One of the other cons is there's a lot of variability, right, in services in general. And so you have to be very conscientious of what are all the things you're doing for each individual, unit, right? And so in the example of rolling out a PC, I might have 5 steps identified. Well, you need to make sure that those 5 steps apply across the board. And so, don't overcomplicate it, but again, at the same time, you want to make sure you're covering the details within those tiers that work for your business. So one of the other pros in a tiered pricing strategy is it's typically involved around larger projects, right? And so you're talking about multi-site rollouts or multi-endpoint rollouts. And these are the things, this tiered pricing strategy gives you a competitive advantage, right? So you think about your competitor coming and say, hey, it's 1 hour for 5,000 PCs, and you come in and say, it's 1 hour for the first 100, it's 30 minutes for the next 200, right? And so your pricing overall will probably be more accurate, and the client will really appreciate that. So again, with a tiered pricing strategy, this is just one tool in your toolbox when you're starting to talk about pricing out services engagements. And again, this one actually applies to both professional services work as well as managed services. And so it's something you want to make sure you get right, but definitely will give you a competitive advantage if you do it right the first time.